Heather here. I'm currently attending Savannah College of Art and Design and working towards a career as an animator. Despite this, I have a real love for costuming and it's probably just because I'm a huge nerd and I love the characters so much. Honestly, cosplay, I feel like it's a really big part of my life, even though honestly it's just a hobby. Like, I'm not a professional cosplayer. There are very few of those, but oh my god, if you've seen professional cosplayers, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous how good they are. Like, don't let anyone tell you that cosplay is pointless or that you're wasting your life or wasting your time, because there are professional cosplayers who do what they do, make their outfits, cosplay the characters, and they make some money. Don't underestimate cosplay and don't underestimate people who do it. I have some friends who feel discouraged just because people don't take them seriously, which is ridiculous. For one, you shouldn't ever judge someone for something they like doing unless you know it's illegal. Cosplay for me is about having fun. I don't do it for attention and I don't do it for money. Basically, I do it because I think it's fun and I think I like making things with my hands and I like showing people what I can do. The world of cosplay has opened up my social horizons a lot, just because there's so many people I would have never met or never talked to had it been for liking a similar thing. Like, oh my god, I'm cosplaying this person and you're cosplaying that person. Let's talk because I love the person you're cosplaying, and then turn into a nice little friendship. And that's how I've met a lot of my friends nowadays. And I've never been to a convention. It's a really cool experience. First time convention, like, it can be a little bit overwhelming, honestly. Like, even my 10th time at a convention, I'm like, so many people everywhere. But I guess that also depends on which one you go to, because some of them are relatively small scale, which might be a good one to start off at just to kind of test the waters, see if you like it. But the big ones are really nice too. Conventions are really nice. They usually have vendor rooms, which if you're addicted to paraphernalia like me, then oh my god. I can never resist buying at least one poster. And then if they have those little Monster Hunter figurines, god dang, there goes all my money. So try not to spend all your money if you go to a convention. But honestly, enjoy yourself, treat yourself a little. Also at conventions, they usually have panels where they have just cosplayers or special guests who tell you about what they do or a specific thing. Sometimes the panels involve a group of cosplayers and then they sort of role play as the characters who they're cosplayed as. I actually have only done that once. I was Vriska in a panel at the last, I think it was Arkansas Anime Festival, and it was pretty fun. I'm surprised at how much fun I had, honestly. One thing you also need to know is that there are rules. Like, if you go to a convention, you need to know the rules. Because most of them are self-explanatory, just common sense sort of stuff, but some people, common sense isn't all that common. There are a lot of problems. I haven't had any problems with this, but just people thinking that it's okay to touch you or interact in a way that you do not want to be interacted with. Good to be cautious at a con, because you never really know. If someone comes up to you, seems nice, sure, be nice back, but if they invite you to go to their room or something, do not do that. Be careful. Honestly, yes, I have not had any problems with this, but I know people who have been harassed at conventions, and that's a problem. And if that does happen, you need to report the person. If you can get a photo of them, if you can point them out to security or someone who administrates the convention and let them know that they are toxic, they can actually ban that person from coming to the con ever again. And for the most part, like 90, maybe more % of the people I have met at conventions have been extremely nice. Every time I go to a convention with my mom, yes, I've been to a couple conventions with my mom, she is just constantly surprised at how nice everyone is. She would be worried about my mom thinking it's so okay, but like, honestly, she's right. So another thing about con etiquette, never take anyone's picture without asking. It's actually really invasive to their privacy. So what you would do if you wanted to get a photo of someone, just go up and ask. People are really open about it, and if they say no, which honestly I've never heard anyone say no to getting their picture taken, because it's actually really extremely flattering. Anytime people come up to me and he's like, can I get a picture with you? I'm just like, oh my god, sure. You shouldn't be scared. Go out, make friends. I know it's kind of like, oh my god, I know no one here, and there's lots of people. Just be friendly and have fun. Con rules go, usually they have restrictions about like how much skin you can be showing if you're cosplaying, which is understandable because kids go to conventions, so please, please be careful. Don't do anything that you wouldn't do around someone else's kid, because dang. I've taken my niece to conventions with me. Her first convention was probably like 3 years ago, so she was probably like 6. So please, please just be a good role model to them kids, you know? You want to make sure your cosplay isn't breaking any rules or inconveniencing anyone. You're not usually allowed to have live steel at a con, such as like actual knife or a sword. Also, I regularly cosplay Homestuck. Like, if you cosplay a troll, you need to be gray. It's been a problem in the past for Homestuck cosplayers because some of them just don't know how to use makeup or how to seal their paint, which is very important at a convention. Honestly, you probably shouldn't paint your hands. If you're gonna be touching things, you might get gray on them. Sealer, sealer, sealer. Please seal your paint. It's as simple as like hairspray. Hairspray does the trick sometimes, depending on what kind of paint you use, and baby powder. It's amazing what just those 2 things can do for you. A convention is a really social event, so sometimes you get hugged and sometimes you hug people, but you really shouldn't do that without asking first, but it sometimes happens, and if you're a Homestuck cosplayer hugging someone, you might just ruin their cosplay if your paint's not sealed, which is not okay. It's not okay to ruin someone's hard work. One time my roommate Jerica went to a convention as one of her characters. It involved a fursuit, and someone literally tried to take her fursuit head off. She was just like not having it. She was angry, by the way, really angry, which she should have been, because if you had spent so much time making that, no one really knows what is on the inside of the head but you. That head could have been like connected to something and it could have ripped. I don't even want to get started on that part, but the thing is, after the fact, we were like, okay, we need to report this guy because apparently he's been harassing other people too and trying to mess with their fursuits, and that's not cool. Like, fursuits, if you make them well, they can go for a lot of money, like an $1,000 head right there. And that's not okay when you've spent so much of your time and money making that. If someone does harass you in cosplay, you need to notify security immediately. Like, get away from them, and if you can, get a picture. Honestly, there seems to be a lot of hate for cosplay. Like, a lot of people just pick on it, I guess because it's like a sort of popular thing, but it's also not so popular that everyone loves it. Like, people have to hate on it, and I honestly think it's because they want attention. So if someone hates on you, if there are haters, if there are trolls, I've said this before, the best solution is to ignore them, and if you can, like, online, report and block them. If they're in real life at a convention, then tell security and just avoid them. Do not let them get to you. They're honestly probably just bored out of their mind and have nothing better to do. Like, Why do people do this? I don't understand. But some people worry about not representing a character to their best ability, or some people worry about their cosplay not being good, which honestly, like, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about having fun, which is like, it's the point in my mind, is have fun. If you have fun putting immense amounts of detail into things and making sure everything's perfect, then good for you. But other people, they just like to represent a character, and cosplay might not have taken very long and it might not be perfect, but you know what? They're having fun doing it, so that's the important thing. There's no wrong way to cosplay. Like, some people will get onto others and be like, oh, your hair isn't right, or blah blah blah, and that's like, do not critique someone else's cosplay unless they ask for it. Do not critique someone ever unless they ask for it. Like, I don't care if their cosplay isn't canon. I don't care if their makeup is not perfect. Please, just do not ever tell someone their cosplay isn't good, or tell someone that they should stop cosplaying someone. People can cosplay whoever they want to. In my opinion, there should be no concern for canon. Like, some people, like, honestly, some people have said, like, oh, you're black, you can't cosplay Dave Strider. Males can cosplay females. Females can cosplay males. People don't have genders. They can cosplay anyone they want. Anyone can cosplay whoever they want. If you're going to offend someone by what you cosplay, please do not cosplay that. Welcome to Night Vale, for instance. People do not cosplay the Apache Striker for a reason. Cosplay does not make that okay. He's depicted as being like wearing a cartoonishly huge, like, Native American headdress, and he's not Native American, even though later he does become Native American, but then it's weird because he's now Russian somehow. But you should never feel bad for your cosplay not being, like, freaking amazing, because no one starts out cosplay freaking amazing unless you've had practice on something. Like, I could see someone in costume design being like, I'm gonna cosplay after like years of costume design, and maybe they would be good because they know what they're doing. Cosplays I do today, they are such a higher caliber than the ones I did before. And the ones I did before, like, I was still just like, oh my god, I'm gonna go to a convention, I should dress up. I'm gonna closet cosplay this character. And I totally did. I would go to a convention. My first convention, I basically closet cosplayed the 10th Doctor, which is still a cosplay I do today. Picture of my old 10th Doctor cosplay when I first started out. Picture of it more recently. Picture of my Vriska cosplay when I first started out. A picture of it more recently. Yeah, and it's gonna keep, my cosplays will hopefully, I mean, like, it only makes sense. They're gonna keep getting better as I keep doing them. I'm gonna learn, experience things, and like, that's what I think's fun, is that like, every time I cosplay Vriska, I've lost count how many times I cosplayed Vriska, but every time I cosplay Vriska, it gets better, and I'm like, whoa. Still have room for improvement. That's the whole entire thing about cosplay. Nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect, and you shouldn't strive for perfection. You should strive for getting better, maybe, just like step by step. Like, don't rush it. Just let it happen, and if you don't have money for cosplay, there are tons of creative ways to make cosplays. Like, not everyone can afford to go buy a official Homestuck t-shirt. And I don't know if you know about yarn, but yarn, man, yarn is so awesome. Let me just show you. This is yarn. This is another wig made out of yarn, and this is another wig made out of yarn. Wigs! This is yarn. This is gonna be a horn, obviously, and these are yarn. They're super light, and this is a yarn horn, and it is. I just dropped it on the ground, and guess how durable it is? It's so durable because it's freaking yarn. Like, yarn. Guys, this is my 3D design project for school, and I'm making it out of yarn because this stuff is great, and if you can make all the stuff out of yarn, then you can make things out of really odd and inexpensive stuff that actually turn out looking alright. Just be creative and keep your mind open to not spending a lot of money online and maybe doing some of your own work. I don't want to take this off now, I'm going to keep it on, okay? Okay. Going on, cosplay as a hobby, it's not about getting attention, it's about having fun, and if you can't do it all the time, like, I love freaking cosplay. I love doing it. I wish I could cosplay every day, it'd be so fun. But the thing is, I do not have time to cosplay every day, let alone like once a week. Your life comes first. Cosplay is a hobby. Don't feel bad for not being able to cosplay. Yeah, that's just some things about cosplaying and conventions. I hope that you guys found this informative and not too blathery like I feel like I tend to get. Again, I am Heather. If you ever see me around, feel free to talk. I love meeting new people, especially the ones who are interested in things that I also enjoy. Nice talking to you. TF to BA, love you guys.